Hey guys, what's up? So we recently got our Legends tag from the monthly event quest time attack for the month of May, and that was the Red Dawn quest. Now, my unofficial time ended up being 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 12 seconds, and that actually got us 44th place overall. That is out of 100, so we were sitting pretty much right smack dab in the middle, which is perfectly fine. That's exactly what I expected, and it doesn't really matter. I got exactly what I wanted, which was that Legends tag. Now, I wanted to share with you guys my preparation leading up to that run, and I'm also going to throw in just a few tips and tricks here and there. Basically anything that I learned in the process, and also stuff that I learned from other YouTubers who had actually done this in the past. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so first let's start by asking, what is the monthly event quest Legends run and why do I even want it? So it's a challenge to see who can fully explore the heroic and master mode difficulties in the event quest each month as fast as possible. What they do is that they take the top 100 times and they reward those players with the legendary tag, and that is the same one that you see right below my profile pic. And I mean, honestly, the only reason you're going to go for it these days is so that you can say, I am a legend now, look at my tag. I am a legend now, this is how I swag. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's start with talking about the prep work. Now, I'm gonna list off a few things here, and you wanna make sure that you can check every single one of these boxes before you go forward with your Legends run. So the first thing is the device you're going to be using to play the game itself. Now, ideally, you want to be using an iPhone 10 or above. Those are the only devices I've been able to confirm to successfully have been used within the last couple months. And unfortunately, if you don't have access to one of those, it's going to be nearly impossible. The loading times for everything else, including the newest Android phones, are not going to compare over the course of a 3-hour period. Next, let's talk mastery setup. I've seen a ton of different mastery setups depending on the main champ being used, but regardless, they always have the suicide masteries maxed out. So make sure you have the full suicide mastery tree unlocked so you can utilize all of that extra damage. Now, as far as champions go, okay, let's be honest, just use Corvus. Okay, if you have a 565 or a rank 2 or a rank 3 6-star, he is by far your best and most reliable options for a Legends run. Unless you're fighting an Ebony Maw or you have a boss with Safeguard, he is going to be your go-to guy. But for those two things that he may struggle with, just bring your best damage over time champion as backup and you'll be just fine. Next, let's talk about the resources you're going to need to be able to do this Legends run. Okay, this is assuming that you have no energy refills and no boost already in your stash. Okay, as a good rule of thumb, it shouldn't take you more than 40 full energy refills to get through both heroic and master mode. So you're looking at roughly 1,200 units there. Now, as far as boosts go, you want to pick up this Advanced Alliance Quest bundle. Now, this is going to give you every boost you need for the entire run. That includes the 30% attack and health boost as well as the 20% attack boost. And this will literally get you through the entire run because you're going to pop one or pop both of them every hour on the hour. Now, again, this is assuming that you have none of these in the stash already. You're looking at 2,600 units total to get you through the whole thing. Okay, when it comes to strategy, it basically comes down to 3 things: synergies, quest efficiency, and your fighting style. All right, so for synergies, basically you're looking for your main clear, you're looking for a backup champ, and then you're also looking for any synergies that gives your main and backup champ as much attack as possible. So who I ended up going with here was Corvus Glaive with the Proxima synergy, of course. Then I threw in Nebula for 7% attack. Then I threw in a Gladiator Hulk that gave me an extra 6% attack. And then of course I had Omega Red to clear off any other champs that Gladiator Hulk or Corvus could not handle. So basically I had everyone I needed for every quest in every section, so I didn't have to jump out at all to switch around teams or anything like that. And something else to add here, whenever you're choosing your synergy team, you want to make sure that your top champion, in my case is Corvus, is the auto-selected champion whenever you pull up into a fight. That way all you have to do is hit that fight button as soon as it loads. And the way you do this is to make sure he is your highest ranking champion. So you want to go into some other quests and do some quick testing with your synergy team and make sure that Corvus or whoever you're deciding to use as your main champion is the main champion and is auto-selected for every single fight. Alright, let's talk about quest efficiency. Whether you start with Heroic or start with Master, either way the rotation is going to be exactly the same. So I personally started with Master because I wanted to get the longer fights out of the way first, that way I could just cruise my way through Heroic. But again, either way the rotation will be to do one path in each section by hitting the Play Next button at the end of each quest. When you get to the last section, you'll hit the Replay button until you have 100%ed that whole section. At this point you are going to go back out and start again from the first quest. This is where you will fully explore each section at a that time until they are all completed. From there, you back out again and start the whole thing over on the difficulty mode you left untouched. Now, lastly is the fighting style. So I've seen two different styles used primarily. Now, the first way is to try and parry at the beginning of the fight, and then you go from there, right? Depending on the health pool, you may just need a double medium, you may need a medium, light, medium, or you may have to do a full 5-hit combo, like especially if you're in master mode against like the bosses. It takes more hits to take them down, obviously, so you may have to adjust your plan depending on who you're fighting. And the second way is to actually the one that I preferred. So you start the fight with a light attack, and this interrupts the opponent's first attack. So you can do this by rapidly tapping the screen as the champs are running to the middle to start the fight. Now, both ways, they have their issues, but as long as you're paying attention to what the AI is doing, you can react and take them down very quickly regardless. Now, just a few quick tips to kind of wrap up the video here. So the first one is to basically figure out how you're going to use your energy. All right, we already know you're going to need at least 40 to get through the whole thing. So what I ended up doing was purchasing the first 10. And then from there, once those were all used up, I just bought one at a time as I needed it. That kept me from having to jump out of the quest and go to my inventory or whatever, because that brings up the second option, which is to buy all 40 of them up front, obviously claim 10, and then every time you run out, you jump back to your overflow and then claim 10 and then go back into the quest. Now you're gonna have to do that at least 3 times, so that's that many more times you have to actually jump out of the quest and then go back into the quest. Now, I'm not saying one way is faster than the other. That's just what I preferred. I didn't want to jump out of the quest any more than I absolutely had to. Now, the next thing to do is to actually clear everything in your mail here. So when you go in here and go to your red, all right, I have all these things in there. Every time you finish a fight and it loads the map back up, it actually has to reload everything in here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go in and delete everything. All the mail, obviously read it first, delete it all out, go into your social, make sure you don't have any requests in there. Also delete all that stuff out, because again, that's something that has to be loaded every single time you come out of a fight. Now, also, you want to make sure you're in airplane mode. Do not disturb. Airplane mode, make sure you have the strongest wireless connection you can possibly have. So you want to get as close to your router as possible and eliminate anything on your home network that may be hindering you or may be eating up bandwidth on your network, right? So if you have to do it in the middle of the night while everyone else is asleep, then man, do what you got to do. And then the last thing is actually to completely reboot your phone before you jump into the game for your Legends run. All right, you have to think, everything is ran out of the RAM on your phone. So every time you load an app, every time you get a message or whatever, it loads it out of the RAM. So when you reboot the phone, it completely clears your RAM out, and then don't load anything, literally. Don't answer any messages, don't call anybody, don't open up any other apps, go straight into the game and straight into your Legends run from there. All right, so let's quickly go over the times needed in order to qualify for a Legends run these days. I'm going to go over the last couple months and what I found through the little bit of research that I was able to do. Now, if you go to the forums here, I'll leave a link to that down in the description. And if you go over to the search bar, you just type in Halls of Legends and hit enter. That will bring up basically all the posts there. Just click on the top one. It'll take you directly to the most recent post here. Now we're actually going to scroll up because this is for May. We're going to start with April. So what I ended up doing was reaching out to the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place, as well as the 98th, 99th, and 100th place for the month of April and the month of May, trying to get times, who they use, device use, stuff like that. The only person that got to respond out of the top 3 here was Crank. Now, Crank told me that his time was 2 hours, 49 minutes, and he used the 4-star and 5-star Corvus, along with the 4 and 5-star Proxima and Doctor Strange for the synergies there, and he was using an iPhone 11. Now, the only other person that responded from the month of April was E-Man. Let's see, he ended up with a time of 3 hours and 2 minutes. I don't know exactly what the seconds were, but roughly 3 hours, 2 minutes. His team was 5-star Corvus with Torch, Ebony Maw, Proxima, and Hulk Rags, and he was using an iPhone 10. All right. So that gives you an idea of what it was then. Now, for the month of May, which is when I did it, I didn't get anybody at the top to respond. I don't know why, but basically no one responded. But I do know that Gonzo the Grim, if you don't know who he is, he has a YouTube channel, and he did his announcement when he got his Legends run, and he said that his time for 20th place was 2 hours and 49 minutes, which is crazy because that's actually what the 3rd place was the month before. So this kind of shows you the shift every month It goes back and forth a little bit, but it's crazy to see how much it progresses from month to month. And then also, I got the 99th place overall, according to the forums, to answer as well. Now he ended up with 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 58 seconds, and he also used a rank 5 Corvus. I'm not sure what the device was. If he sees this video, please put it down in the comments. But basically, that's what you're looking at, man. A very small window to hit, but it is still definitely doable with an iPhone 10 and just a rank 5 65 Corvus. All right, guys, I understand. Okay, there are other champions out there that can probably do this as well, but you have to understand, the top 100 people that are getting these times are probably using Corvus. Now, if you don't have Corvus yet, then you have two options. You can either wait for a 5-star or 6-star Corvus, get them ranked up and ready to go, or you can try with another champion. There's no one saying you can't try, but do not be surprised if you fall outside of that top 100. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap this one up now. Guys, if you have any other tips or tricks or anything for anybody else watching this video, leave it down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. But until the next time, you have a good one, and I'll see y'all later.